Okay, we're going to be practicing some shading with a pen. Shading with a pen sounds kind of weird, but the next project we're going to be doing is going to be pen drawing, where you're capturing values with pen. It does take a degree of practice because there's not a lot of margin for error because pen does not erase. So you can see here, this is the practice sheet. This is going to be a required assignment for everybody in the class. And so I've drawn 3 circles with the circle template here using the 1/4, 1 1/4 circle. And then we're going to go ahead and draw 3 scales too, or rectangles. And so this does not have to be the width of the ruler. You can make it about a 1/2 inch wide, make it about 5 inches long. I am going to leave the right side of mine open because that's the light side. If you're a left-handed person, you're probably going to want to work from the right toward the left. You done? What doing? Mm-hmm. They're like a 1/2 inch wide and like 5 inches long. Yes. I would use colored pencil. Yeah, I know. You guys will be famous. You'll be on the Google. You'll be on the Google Classroom. What? What are you putting in the back?
Like for the background, because I need to add color. Yeah.
Are you putting anything like?
I put shading in.
No, like what is the color going to be?
Mine is green.
Just hold off for a second. All right. Those of you guys that are missing this instruction, you'll have to just come back and watch it on the Google Classroom. We're going to do 3 different types of practicing shading with the pen. One of them, the old standby, hatching like little chickens. The second one will be cross hatching. And the third and most desirable and fun, scumbling. No. We could put a 4th one on there, but it doesn't work very good with pen. It works really good with markers, and that is stippling, or pointillism. Now, for each one of these, we're going to imagine a light source, and I'm going to imagine the light source coming down from the top right. If you wanted to, you could even draw a little arrow like this, showing that this is the light. There's my little sunshine. I'm going to imagine that on all 3. That's supposed to be a light bulb. So hatching is one direction. Before we apply it to our shapes, let's practice it over here. Whichever direction you want to go, I don't care. Whether you go like diagonal down to the left, or if you do it like me and do diagonal down to the right on the desk right here. Or maybe you want to do yours just horizontal right there. Now if we had a lot of nice drawing pens, they make some really nice ones called Micron. Those are decent. I don't have any yet this year because I wasn't sure how long we were going to be here. And they do run out really quick, I've noticed. So we're just going to use some regular old Bic round medium ink pens. And then again, I told you we're going to do some ink stuff with India ink and what are they called? Fountain tips. But notice, to capture the value with the pen, it's just like with pencil really. You keep it really close together where you want it to be dark, and you get it further apart where you want it to get lighter. Try to stay inside the lines. Craftsmanship's going to be a huge issue when we get to the pen drawings, the thematic pen drawings. And it should not jump from the black to the white. It should go through a gradual transition of gray to light gray to white. So further and further apart until white. You can labor that as much as you want, but that's the basic idea. Now to apply that to the shape, to make it into a form, or the illusion of a form, obviously you're going to leave the highlighted side alone. I always begin on the opposite. If the light's coming from this way, the very opposite is going to be way over here. It's going to be the darkest over there. Now I'm just darkening that for I have a place to start, like a boundary. But then my hatching marks are going to be pulling towards the light. Like this. I'm just making diagonals up to the right. You guys do not have time to stop working and sit there and screw around. Do your work. You're very behind. As I get out toward the middle, spread them further apart. There's a better focus. Now that is not near done. I need to definitely get more dark over here on the dark side of the sphere. So I make smaller marks and I put them closer together, but I'm keeping them all going one direction. You can do entire drawings like that where you're shading with marks that go one direction, and it has a really cool effect. I want a little more gray. I'm going to make a few marks running almost to the highlight. Just for the effect, cast a little shadow. Now let's do cross hatching. Practicing. I'm going to try to keep these going basically two directions. Up to the right and down to the right. Try to stay inside the lines. I'm going to go ahead and take this all the way across, really light, one direction, and then come back all the way across, really light the other direction. This part seems kind of tedious and boring, but when you start to apply this to your objects that are going to be in your cool drawings, you'll see the advantage of practicing those. Now let's apply it to a shape again, giving it the illusion of a form. I'm going to start the exact same way that I did last time. Start on the opposite side and pull some of the lines toward the light. The tendency for me is to curve the lines because it's a sphere, and I'm imagining the contours going across the surface of the sphere. But you don't have to curve the lines, they could all just be straight. And then just go the opposite direction. You'd be surprised with a little bit of care just how much value you can make with a pen. Look, I didn't use my cover sheet. Smudges. Yeah, I have about 3 or 4 directions on there, but that's alright. That's what cross-hatching is. It doesn't have to just be 2. Try to make it gradual. Cast a shadow. Some people think the human soul weighs 21 grams. So they've measured, because they've weighed people when they died, and they lose 21 grams when they die. 3/7 bro. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. We might. They run out so quick. Alright. On that note, let's move on into the last one, which is the best by far. There's so much freedom and fun to the controlled scribble or the scumbling, like this. Dude, I just can't stop scumbling. Okay, stop. It does help a little bit with frustrations. Do try to stay inside the lines though. There is no right or wrong way to scumble. Whatever your hand wants to do. Just kind of feels natural to scribble. Obviously bring your scribble marks closer together for the darker value. Let them get further apart for the lighter value. It just reminds me of a Jackson Pollock painting. I think I tend to see my signature, you know, the way I write my name, I'll see my initials a lot of the times when I'm scumbling. Because it's the same mindset. Even though you're writing letters when you do your signature. Thank you. Again, I could come back here and take more and more time putting more and more marks to get my gradual value transition as much as I want. And then apply it same way on the shape. A lot of freedom to this, so it should be pretty easy. Sometimes it helps if you sort of unfocus your eyes a little bit so you can see this side's going to need to be really dark. Bless your soul. Bless your 21 grams. And when this sphere dies, it casts a shadow. Once you get these pen techniques practiced and looking like that, or as close to that, be ready to start applying this to objects. I'm going to erase with the pencil the right side of these just for the better effect of light hitting. Watch what happens here, just taking that pencil line out and all of a sudden they're even more in the light. If we did this 5 points per thing, that'd be 30. I think that's what we'll do for this assignment. An easy 30 points for you guys. We're going to do some more practicing on objects, and I'll show you some examples of the project when we all get there. Thank you for your valuable time. Goodbye.